and is ranked among the top 5 in the nation.
Symbiosis Center for Distance Learning, or SCDL, has been striving to take higher education to every nook and corner of this world, uniting all in a virtual campus. After all, it is one world, one campus. Having recognized the early signs of the call of the times, SCDL is now at the forefront of this way. SCDL offers an impressive range of programs in management, education, information technology, humanities, social sciences, and law. SCDL employs a holistic learning methodology that combines all the three forms of learning: printed study material, DVDs, and e-learning and online faculty interaction. SCDL has established a systematic hierarchy, as study methods and content are crucial to the success of any distance learning program. The advisory committee involves some of the nation's most leading academicians, as well as industrial heavyweights. The academic council acts as an overseer to the Board of Studies for Content Design. The Board of Studies has a team of experts for every subject and is responsible for the design of the entire study pattern. This three-tier system results in intensively researched and lucidly presented material, interactive e-learning content, and lecture DVDs unique to SCDL. All this combines to bring the classroom to the students and unite students across the world in one virtual campus.
We have focused a lot on student care services, and in the past 10 years, we have one of the most well-developed, dedicated student call center, which receives more than 2,000 calls a day. This center also has developed an integrated voice response system, which automatically responds to many of the routine student queries. Apart from this, we have established an e-communication center where student emails are replied to within one business day.
Be it counseling for selection of programs and enrollment, or addressing and resolving student queries through nation's first dedicated and professionally managed student care center, as well as the unique call center, or providing enhanced learning experience through the latest technology via video conferencing. For the students, SCTL is by their side from the very beginning at all. In fact, SCTL is one of the few distance learning centers to have an alumni network and provide placement assistance to students. SCDL has a robust online assessment system with online assignments and on-demand exams to provide ultimate convenience, ease, and flexibility to our students.
Today, SCDL has more than 23 programs across 189 subjects of study. We have also evolved a unique examination system called on-demand online examination. We have exam centers across the length and breadth of our country and even abroad, from where students can take an examination on demand.
An extensive quality assured network of exam centers has been established across major cities in India and internationally, allowing students to decide the time and place of the exams. With its corporate business administration program, SCDL has enabled several renowned companies to provide learn while you earn facilities for their employees. SCDL is today an education provider to leading corporates such as IBM, Cognizant, Wipro, Infosys, Collabora, Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, Ranbaxy, Bosch, Bharti Walmart, Vodafone, and many more. SCDL spans a rich and diverse student profile across all age groups and all walks of life. SCDL students range from working professionals, fresh students, military personnel, to housewives seeking higher qualification. Our students have achieved great professional success and recognition in their chosen careers.
I've been doing a post-graduation diploma in international business. I've been working in Accenture for the last 5 years as a senior software engineer. I always wanted to complete my post-graduation. Symbiosis offered me to pursue my dream of completing my post-graduation while working. The best part of the course was while sitting at home, I could complete my online assignments and also book my examinations. Symbiosis helped me go ahead in my career, and I'm very happy being at Symbiosis.
Though I am already serving a well-placed person in the army, I thought it is an opportunity to me to do MBA. And there was so much of choice which was given to me by curriculum to select whatever I felt like. I feel it's a very flexible program. It's very easy to follow.
To further enhance its reputation of academic excellence, SCDL conducts training, orientation workshops, and seminars for its faculty in its state-of-the-art center. In distance education is one of SCDL's primary goals. With this objective, SCDL conducted an international conference to bring about best practices and to provide a platform for discussion on development and challenges related to the open and distance learning sector. The conference was supported by COL, UNESCO, and many other international bodies. All of this has led to a reputation second to none. Symbiosis Center for Distance Learning has been ranked in the top distance learning institutes by DNA Indus Learning Survey, Competition Success Review, and Careers 360. SCDL is also the winner of Maharashtra government's IT Award for Human Resource Development through quality distance education and innovative use of ICT. Symbiosis Center for Distance Learning, SCDL, has successfully achieved ISO 9001-2008 assessment certificate. This certificate was awarded to SCDL for successful establishment of quality management system by American Quality Assessors AQA India Private Limited, and SCDL is also credited by Commonwealth of Learning, with campuses in Nasik, Bangalore, and New Delhi.
Today, we dream of establishing an online university where all these distance learning programs and many more will be available to students not only from India but from abroad as well. Our dream will soon be realized when Symbiosis establishes an online university in the near future.
SCDL is striding forward with its dream of quality distance education. After all, perseverance has the power to turn every dream into reality.
Thank you everyone for watching this AV. Respected faculty members, a very good morning to all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you to the National Level Faculty Development Program on Effective Case Study Writing for Academic Excellence, organized by Symbiosis Center for Distance Learning. This FDP aims to enhance your skills in crafting impactful case studies that bridge the gap between theoretical knowledge and real-world applications. On behalf of Organizing Committee and Management SCDL, I extend a warm welcome to all our esteemed participants and speakers. We are delighted to have educators and professionals from various disciplines join us for this enriching event. Today, we will embark our journey to explore the sheds of case study writing, learn from distinguished experts, and share our insights and experiences. This activity is conducted under aegis of Institution Innovation Council. At SCDL, we are committed to fostering innovation and excellence through a variety of initiatives under IIC. And this FDP is testament to our ongoing efforts in this direction. The importance of case study in academic setting cannot be overstated. They are powerful tools that facilitate deeper learning, foster critical thinking, and enhance problem solving. Through the well-crafted case studies, we can create engaging and meaningful learning experiences for our students, driving academic excellence and innovation. We are thrilled to announce that this FDP has gathered participation from every state in the country. This overwhelming response is evidence to the importance and relevance of our program. Having such a diverse group of participants enriches the learning experiences, providing varied perspective and fostering a broader exchange of ideas. The national reach of this FDP is indeed a significant achievement and a clear indication of its success. We extend our heartfelt thanks to each of participants joining this FDP. We are honored to have a distinguished and lineup of speakers who bring a wealth, knowledge, and experience to this program. They will guide us through various aspects of case study writing, for understanding methodologies, to developing and applying case studies in different fields. Once again, welcome to this FDP. We look forward to your active participation and fruitful exchange of ideas. Thank you for being here and contributing to the success of this event. Now let us inaugurate our session with a traditional lamp lighting ceremony performed in a virtual platform. This symbolic act represents the light of knowledge and wisdom guiding our path.
So what is ClickUp? ClickUp is an all-in-one productivity software where you can manage everything and anything.
Thank you, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce our esteemed director, Major Sonali Kadam, who will share her insights and vision with us and will give brief idea about SCDL. Please welcome Major Sonali Kadam.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sunita, for unmuting me. On behalf of Symbiosis Center for Distance Learning, I officially welcome all our esteemed participants for this faculty development program. We've already gone through a brief film of Symbiosis Center for Distance Learning, so I wouldn't take a long time briefing you about the institution. Briefly, Symbiosis Center for Distance Learning is one of the leading distance learning institutions in our country. We have been the pioneers in the field of open and distance learning, as well as bringing in online methodology to teaching and learning in our country. I'm happy to share that we will be actually celebrating our silver jubilee in the coming year. So it's a big milestone for all of us. We have at any given time over 40 to 50,000 students who study with us. I'm also happy to share with you that apart from management, we also have a very strong vertical of education, humanities, and social sciences. And we offer courses, especially for educators. And one of our most popular courses, of course, is the postgraduate diploma in educational administration. We also offer a course in instructional design, which has been very popular amongst our education faculty. Apart from that, we do a course in pre-primary teacher training. We also offer a program in school counseling as well as psychological counseling. And I'm happy to share that these courses are equally popular amongst the folks in the education sector and otherwise. The objective of organizing this faculty development program, of course, Dr. Sunita already touched upon that we can't overemphasize the need for case studies. But in our experience, and all our experiences rather, I mean, whoever deals with students will realize that we have to ensure that we engage our students at all levels. With the complex business world, if they are not able to correlate their concepts to applications in the real world, then they never understand the importance of learning something. We at Symbiosis have also been pioneers in the area of skill development, and I'm happy to share that we have two skill development universities. One which is located at Pune, it's called the Symbiosis Skills and Professional University, and another one located at Indore, which is called the Symbiosis University of Applied Sciences. Over the past 6 years, when we have done research in the area of skill development, we have also realized the importance of being able to relate the students' knowledge to its application to the real world. And the best way to do it and achieve is through case studies. It not only helps bring the industry, bring in the real life experiences to a classroom, it also allows our students to think critically, allows them to do problem solving, help them improve their communication skills. So it is a very, very important and almost a mandatory tool in today's world. Another aspect is that case studies are not restricted to just management education, and people from the management education side have been case studies has been an age-old tool. But today, whether it's management, it is engineering, it is sciences, it has become important to introduce case studies as a tool. And with this objective, we hope that this session would be very informative. We hope that you'll also participate, share your experiences with us. And by the end of this session, we will all, including all our faculties, will be better equipped at making case studies, and all our classrooms will become enriched through this faculty development program. I'll also take a minute to welcome and thank our speakers for the day. Thank you so much for being part of this faculty development program. And we welcome all of you to this session, and happy learning for the next entire day. Thank you so much. Over to you, Sunita.
Thank you, ma'am. As we are about to start the FDP, here is a small announcement that we will be conducting a question answer session at the end of each session. Please type your question in the chat box during the presentation and we will forward it to the speaker. Additionally, if you wish to ask your question verbally, you are welcome to do so at the end of the FDP. Simply raise your hands and we will unmute you to speak. We appreciate your participation and look forward to the engaging discussion. So let's dive into the session. We will share the basis and brief about the FDP right at the beginning. These outcomes will be presented by Dr. Padmapriya Iravati, who has been a keystone of our academic endeavors. We are honored to have Professor Dr. Padmapriya Iravati, an eminent academician and experienced professional, as our distinguished speaker for today's session. Dr. Priya brings a wealth of knowledge and experience with a remarkable experience spanning 27 plus years across academia and industry. She is PhD in marketing management. As a professor of management at SCDL, Professor Priya has been a driving force behind various initiatives, including the establishment of first international research journal on open and distance learning. Her passion for teaching is marked in her one of the role as the director of School of Media Management at Symbiosis Skills and Professional University. With 7 years of corporate experience, including role as a sales officer, marketing manager, and general manager, Professor Priya brings a unique blend of practical insights and academic accuracy to her session. Professor Priya received numerous awards, including Best Teacher Award by Aruragam, Hyderabad, and the Academic Excellence Award in the category of Best Professor in Strategic Management at the postgraduate level. Professor Priya's contribution extends beyond the classroom with over 30 published papers in international and national journals and books. Her notable work includes the research-based report How to Teach Easily, focusing on faculty members in the business management stream. Professor Priya possesses a diverse skill set that enriches her teaching methodology. She is having many certificates to her credit. Join us in welcoming Professor Dr. Padmapriya, an idol of knowledge and an inspiring educator, to share her insights and expertise in today's session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Sunita. Can I share the PPT?
One sec, ma'am. I'll just give you the rights.
Meanwhile, let me take the confirmation that I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Thank you.
Just give me a moment. Ma'am, just give me 2 to 3 minutes, ma'am.
Okay, you take your time.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, let me have a dialogue with all the participants. I'm really very happy to see the kind of response that we got for this FDP. And this really shows that today's young generation of the teachers, as well as all the experienced teachers, are so much concerned about their online continuous development and whatever new terminologies, new technologies, and new pedagogies that are coming up in the teaching and learning process. We are keen to learn them. We are keen to update ourselves. So this response to this FTP is the indication of that. And basically, I'm congratulating Dr. Sunita, and I'm what we can say, I'm extending a very, very warm thankful to all of you, so that you all have shown that positive response and have given the motivation and encouragement to us to have this kind of FTP, and we will be definitely having such kind of continuous what we can say sessions in the coming future. Yes, Sunita ma'am, is that ready?
Ma'am, just two more minutes, ma'am, please.
So basically now we are just going to have the discussion on brief of or rather basis of this FDP, the rationale behind this FDP. Just 2 minutes back, when before this FDP started, I was going through some research papers, and I just wanted to know that what is the status of use and application of research case study method in teaching and learning process by educators. So actually, there are no very, strong, what we can say, results regarding that. But I could see that the way the case studies are used, or the percentage of educators, those who are using the case studies, are very less. Okay, the people who probably might have used it once or twice in their education or during their classes is somewhere in the range of 30 to 40%. But those who are regularly using the case studies as a teaching method are very less. Okay, research paper which was available on ResearchGate says that hardly 4% of the educators are using are using the case study method for what we can say regularly. They are using the case study method for teaching learning. So this shows that there is a lot of scope for creating this awareness about the very effective and engaging teaching learning tool. And that was the ultimate objective, and that ultimately I wanted to give you through this brief and basis of this FTP. I guess the things are clear now.
Ma'am, you can share your screen.
Yeah. Is it visible, Dr. Sunita?
Ma'am, it's visible. Yes.
Okay. So as I told that I am going to a very brief, what we can say, overview of the FDP throughout the day, what we will be doing. But before that, let me talk to all the academicians present over here. Because see, most probably what happens, we are always at the other side of the teaching learning process. We are teaching the students, and most of the time that develops a very, what we can say, reluctancy, or what we can say, learning the things from that way. So from that perspective, today I will request all of you to become students and understand the things which have been explained. Be open to the discussion. Okay, don't have any prejudices in mind. If you have any objections, if you have any point to be put, then you can put that in the chat box or later on in the question answer session. So as I told, the basis for this session was itself to create the awareness and make and realize the educators of today's generation how this case study method is useful. So we wanted basically to equip you for through this entire education from this entire national level FDP, that all those skills which are necessary, the case studies, and effectively use them in the teaching tool. Basically, what happens that we generally talk about these learning outcomes all the time, and today's this new education policy stresses a lot on the learning outcomes. But when it comes to the actually assessing whether that outcome has been realized or not, there somewhere what we can say we lack. So we have to ensure that even this FDP is realizing all these learning outcomes through this FDP. We basically looking forward to give you all those or rather help you to understand all those essential elements of the case studies. Then we want you to write the case study and understand all the different techniques for writing the case studies. And not only this, we want you to understand how we can engage the students and enhance the learning outcome by using these case studies. So these are the learning outcomes we are expecting out of this entire exercise of the case study of this entire one-day sessions that we are going to organize. So we want you to be very interactive, very much open to the understanding. Okay, if you have any what we can say anything to add into this, you will definitely get the time and you'll get the opportunity to put your point forward. So we provide all that valuable tools and techniques through these different case study writing, and these sessions are going to help you definitely. So I'm looking forward for your very positive and a very enthusiastic approach to this entire learning experience of today. So let's make this day a very beautiful day for learning. We all are going to be learners today. Okay, basically so far we are educators, and we had different what we can say roles that we generally play in our day-to-day life. But today I request all of you to be learners and have a very beautiful learning day. So happy learning. Okay, so this is basically I'm looking forward. I'm expecting all of you to have your ghadas open. I generally use this term for my students in the class, that don't because as long as this gada is going to be open, the things are going to get poured into it. So throughout the day, I understand things are going to be taught. Some will be engaging, some will be little technical. So you have to ensure that you are receptive you're positive, you're accepting, okay, you're not having any prejudices. So learn with the positivity, learn with openness. That is what I'm expecting. So thank you very much. Once again, I wish you happy learning and give the charge to Dr. Sunita. We will be back. I'm going to see you once again in the next session, which is about the essentials of case study. So there we will again meet. So I'm now requesting Sunita to take the charge.
Thank you, Dr. Priya. Next, let me introduce Dr. Shailesh Kedia, who will guide us through the first session on case study methodology. Overview of case study methodology, types of case studies, examples, and its applications. We are honored to have Dr. Shailesh Kedia, a distinguished academic professional and a thought leader with an extensive background in logistics, supply chain management, and intellectual property rights. Dr. Kedia holds a PhD in logistics management, an MBA in marketing and finance, and multiple postgraduate degrees in commerce and economics. His comprehensive educational portfolio is complemented by over 2 decades of experiences in academia and industry. A magnetic orator and a skilled networker, Dr. Kedia is renowned for creating attractive learning experiences and fostering valuable collaborations with academicians, industry professionals, and government agencies. His extensive body of work in business management, logistics, supply chain management, and IPR includes the publications of 53 research papers and authorship of 12 books. Additionally, he has filed 15 copyrights, secured 3 international patents and 4 national patents in innovative technologies related to business management and logistics. Dr. Kedia's expertise extends to deliver over 50 management development programs, corporate trainings, faculty development programs. He has also provided consultancy services to prominent corporations and government bodies addressing critical business challenges and developing strategic solutions. Currently serving as an associate professor and a program director for short-term courses in IPR at Symbiosis Skills and Professional University, Pune. Dr. Kedia continues to drive academic excellence and innovation. He also serves as an editor for 4 international journals, contributing to the advancement of knowledge in his area of expertise. His professional profile stands as a testament to his unwavering dedication to excellence and his substantial contribution to business management, education, research, and consultancy. Let's dive into the fundamentals of case study writing, explore different types of case studies, and see real-world applications from various disciplines. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Shailesh Kedia, and the virtual stage is yours, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Please allow me to share the screen.
Yes, sir. So you can share.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay, so I hope the screen is visible to everyone. Sunita ma'am, if you can respond.
It's visible. Sir, it's visible, sir.
Okay, great.
Am I audible,
So,
sir? It's visible.
Once again, warm good morning to all the participants and welcome to this case study workshop. I'm sure you all must be very enthusiastic about how this workshop will be moving and what you will be learning from this workshop. Okay, so let me begin with my life journey. In 2002, I started as a lecturer in one of the management institutions. I started teaching subjects like marketing management, financial management, and then economics, and so on. First 5 years, I realized that out of my 100% students who are learning in my class, 80% students are able to understand the concept which I was teaching. But then 20% they were unable to understand. And there was one more problem. When these students used to sit in campus interviews for job, out of 100%, only 30% used to get success. So I was very disappointed that why it is happening. Okay, so let's make this session very interactive. I'm sure you cannot unmute yourself, but use your chat box. So it will help me to understand whether we are interacting. At the same time, I'll be able to understand whether we are on the same page. Have you faced this problem that you're teaching with your full force, with your full knowledge, full dedication, and yet at the end of the session, when the companies are coming, the students are unable to perform? Type yes if you have faced this thing. Type no if you have not faced this thing. I'm giving you 30 seconds. Yes, yes. Okay. Okay, multiple yes. Neeru Kumari, Kulvinder, Chaya. Okay. Sam, Tabassum. Patnaik sir said no. Raghu said yes. Okay. Okay, last 10 seconds. Sneha said yes. Dr. Arvind said yes. Okay. Okay. Dr. Trupti said yes. Arvind said yes. Okay, last 4 seconds. Priti Jog, yes, 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 yes. Okay, great. So I presume that it is happening with almost 90% of us in our career. So I dig deep. What is happening now? Why these students to whom we are teaching all the subjects of management, why they are unable to perform? See, I'm taking a case of management from my perspective, but it is applicable to all streams, whether it is science, engineering, medical, arts, all streams. So when I researched in 2008, when I joined ICFI Business School, which is pioneered in case study, so I researched it. And I found that this problem is not there with IIM students. This problem is not there with world's renowned institutions student. Like Harvard, they don't face this problem. Michigan University, they don't face this problem. So the problem was, I was unable to understand that whether our students are not capable or are we teaching them something wrong, which is not giving them employability. And when I did the research, I found that these both things are not a problem. The real problem was that our students were able to grasp the theory, but they were unable to understand how these theories are applied in practice. So let us look at today's learning outcome for this session, and then we will see how we can bridge this gap between theory and their practical application. So what we will be learning, guys, today? Okay. So after this session, what will be the takeaway? You will be able to define case studies. You will be able to articulate their values in academic setting. You will be able to differentiate what is case study with other teaching methods. Other teaching methods like lecture method, discussion method, and so on. Now, in this session, you will also be able to understand various types of case studies and their purposes. What are various types and how they are used in academic setting. You will be able to identify and analyze relevant case studies in your own field. You will also understand the importance of case studies while applying the theoretical knowledge in real world problems. Again, some inputs will be given on designing and developing effective case studies, but that extensive part will be kept for the post-learn session where you will be learning step by step how to develop a case and then incorporating case study in teaching. Most of us, we are not incorporating case study in our teaching learning process because we are not sure about its value. Number one, we don't know how to use those cases. Number two, number three, we are not confident that whether students will be able to understand those cases. In traditional setting, what happens now? The student is focusing on, sir, please teach us the theory we want to score in the examination. So sometimes it is a bit difficult for the teacher to use cases in the classroom. In last 24 years, in last 22 years, when I'm teaching in various courses of various institutions and delivering various sessions to various institutions, I'm coming across various problems which teacher is facing. Today, I think you'll be able to understand that how we can use these cases in our day-to-day teaching. Then you'll be able to conduct this case study research. Again, post-lunch session will be very effective in that. I'll be just touching in this introductory session. And then this session will enable you to mentor your colleagues that they should use the case study method. See what happened now? You're representing your organization. So in your organization, there may be 100 people, 1,000 people, 1,000 faculty members. So they may not be able to attend this workshop, but yes, through you, they'll be able to get the learning. Chali, let us move towards what is case study. I'm giving the bookish definition of case study with practical understanding. A case study is an intensive analysis of an individual unit, such as a person, a group, a community, or organization, to understand the deeper complexities and dynamics at play. Now, with this definition, it is very clear a case study is a kind of analysis of something. Let's say, for example, I'll take the example of business management. Now, a student who is learning in my class logistics management, and we are teaching him the simple concept which is called reverse logistics. That means when the customer says that the product is not good for them, they want it to return to company. Now, we can teach this concept theoretically in the classroom, that what is reverse logistics, how it is applied in practice. But if we take a case study of, let's say, Amazon, that what Amazon is doing in case if there is sales return. So what will happen? The student will be analyzing the entire situation of Amazon and how Amazon is managing that reverse logistics. Of course, it will take some time. Theory may be taking 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but a case, you will have to distribute, they will have to read, and there will be discussion, and then there will be finalization of the cases. So, what will happen? What will happen? It will take time, but how much? Let's say 1 hour, 2 hours. And what will be the result? The students will be able to understand that concept properly, and they'll be able to apply that concept in practice. One time I had a discussion with Howard professor when he came to Nagpur. And I said, why you people are taking entire syllabus in case study mode? His response was very pretty. He said, Prof, can you suggest me any other method with which students will learn practical applicability? Oh, it was a tough question on me. Why? Why only case study? He says, and mark my words, take this as a learning outcome for this session with you, that case study is one of the best method which gives the chance to students to put his shoes in decision makers' shoe. So that means when you put a case in front of faculty, in front of students, they will be able to get themselves in a decision-making position, and that is what the biggest advantage. They'll be able to analyze, they'll be able to think about it, they'll be able to give solution. Though solution may not be perfect, may be perfect, but yes, their analytical brain will be improving. A case study in itself provides a real world scenario. So when you are teaching theory, students doesn't understand whether this theory is still applicable in the real world or not. The student doesn't correlate how this theory can be applied in companies, in industries, in government, in society, and so on and so forth. But a case study is a real case scenario of a real company, of a real situation, real government. So hence, it creates positiveness among the student when they are learning that whatever they are learning, it is still applicable in practice. So again, what case study is? Case study is a detailed analysis of a particular problem. One single problem and its analysis. Let's say, take a look at a social problem, unemployment. So if we prepare a case study of on unemployment, it will deal with only unemployment related problem, and it will analyze this problem from all angles. What will happen when you are analyzing the problem of unemployment? You will be analyzing GDP data, you will be analyzing inflation, you will be analyzing industry growth, you will be analyzing government policies, you will be analyzing the skill set of the youth which is required for industry, you will be analyzing the gap in the skill set of the students. So one single problem, and you are diagnosing that problem with all the detailed information which is available with you or which is available on the internet. That is called detailed analysis. And then what it does, when a student with the help of faculty members make this analysis, he generates critical thinking. Now, critical thinking means very simple, understanding the problem from holistic view. The student will be able to analyze all the angles of a single problem. He will not be just analyzing one angle, he'll be analyzing all the angles related to problem. And that's where the critical thinking will be developing. And ultimately, what will be the result? The student will be able to solve the given problem. Again, when you are teaching case study methods, please remember, in most of the cases, almost 75% cases, there is no correct solution or there is no single correct solution. There are multiple solutions. A case, suppose, if I'll ask you, how can Government of India improves the tax collection without raising the individual taxes? Okay, so think about it. Do you think all the people will be answering the same? No. There will be multiple solutions to this problem. Every single student or group of students may be giving different answers. But what it will be doing? All these answers will be contributing to the solution. On one hand side, the student who is giving one solution will be able to express himself and his problem solving approach. On other hand side, the same student will be able to understand opinions of other students, because in the class, if 10 students are giving solution to the same problem or 10 different solutions to the same problem, every student will be able to understand how this problem can be solved with multiple approaches or with single or double approaches. Don't you think that it will make them employable? What is your answer? Till now, we have spent around 10 minutes. So what do you think that case study can give them some understanding, will develop their critical thinking, and they will be able to understand the problem from holistic angle and will be able to give the solution from holistic angle. I'm giving you 30 seconds. What do you think? Right? Yes, no, not sure, whatever you think. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes, but okay. Okay. Yes, it's more important to understand the subject. Surely it will help to sharpen analytical skill of the students. How does case study of one discipline differ from another? Yes, I will take care of that. Don't worry about it. Yes, it's different than only they can apply in real world problem. Manju said, okay, great. Last 10 seconds. Understand the subject is very important. Okay, so with case study, they will be able to understand. Dr. Ankita saying like micro and macro and state because real world situation have everything. Okay, great. Girish says get equivalent. Okay. Dr. Arvind says case study help to describe the real world problem with the team also. Okay, great. Last two, yes, multiple solution they'll be able to understand. Dr. Tanzin Taz. Okay, great. Fair enough. So now one thing is for sure, the case study method is a method wherein the student will be able to critically analyze the situation. Okay, now what will happen then? If the critical analysis of the situation is done, the students will be able to understand problem from holistic angle, and when they will be doing this, their entire caliber will go on a different nature. Coming down to some characteristics of the case study, which will help us to understand how these case studies are different, how this case study method is different, how case studies are giving solution to the specific problem. First, whenever you talk about case study, the case study is about depth over the breadth. So you won't find cases or you won't find good cases wherein in one cases multiple problems are addressed. No. Case study is analysis of one single problem from multiple angles. We are diving deep into one single problem so that we can understand the depth of it. And why it is so? Because, there is a concept in, or there is a saying in English, jack of all, master of none. Now, when I analyze or when I interact with so many company fellows, they used to say, these students know so many things about some topic, but they lack understanding of one area. Case study can be solution to that. Again, this case study has a real world context I have already explained, and then it has a unique characteristic which is called flexible methodology. The case study research can utilize a combination of qualitative and quantitative methods. So on one hand, if you have looked at the cases of Howard, now Howard cases, I have seen the Howard cases wherein the normal length is 40 to 60 pages. Normal length is 40 to 60 pages. Now imagine, are they writing entire 40 to 60 pages analysis? No. I'll share in the post-launch session some case studies with you. Their case is around, let's say 10 to 15 pages, and remaining 35, 40, 45 pages, they are the exhibit or annexures. Various data. Let's say, for example, if they are giving case study of a stock market of India, so the case study will be of 10 to 12 pages, and then stock market data of India would be there. Just a minute. Call from home. I'll just. Hello. ठीक है, मैं भेज रहा हूँ. Sorry guys, just be with me for 1 minute. Extremely sorry, guys. Some emergency was there. So now it is done. We'll move ahead. Just a minute. Okay. So we are talking about the flexibility. In case studies, when we look at the Howard case studies, even IIM case studies, sometimes they are of 40, 60 pages, 65 pages. One of the case study which I have read, which was 115 pages. So all these case studies, they are not containing entire theory or entire something of 105 pages. 10, 15 pages, the real case is, and then there are questions, and then there are exhibits, or then we can call it annexures. So let's say we were taking the example of the stock market of India. So if a case study is dealing with why stock market fails suddenly, so this case explains the situation in 10 to 12 pages, and then remaining 20, 30 pages, they are the annexures of various years, various times, where the stock market failed, where the stock market collapses, and all those data is given in the case along with the case study, so that the learner can understand it. This is called quantitative data along with the qualitative data, wherein the exhibits also give various opinions of the expert in the stock market, how and why the stock market failed in the real market. So now, what does case study is doing? If you look at the characteristics, on one hand, it is giving the depth of single problem. On other hand, it is providing real world context or real world problem wherein student understand that whatever they are learning, it is applicable in the real life, and then it is a methodology which is flexible. That means it is giving you chance to develop their qualitative aspect and develop their quantitative aspect also. Okay. Now, most of you, if you are academician, you must have done these two methods, lecture method and discussion method. Okay. What happened in lecture method? In my last 22 years of experience, I feel that in lecture method, what happens? In lecture method, you as a teacher deliver in the classroom, and a student is a listener. There is a psychological fact that after some minutes, you are not able to focus on single thing. When only you are talking, using chalk and talk, using PPT, and the students are not interacting with you, the learning to the extent which is required doesn't happen. Now, lecture method is very good when you are explaining any concept, new phenomena, some characteristics. But at the same time, it lacks the point where a student uses their analytical brain. What happens when we discuss? In discussion, what happens? We interact with the student. There is exchange of ideas, some spontaneous thoughts they used to generate. People used to give various opinions. Just someone confirm, am I audible? Dr.
Sir, you are
Ankita
audible.
says I'm
You are
not
audible, sir.
audible at 10:59.
No, sir, you are audible. You are
Yeah,
audible.
sure. Great. So what happens? In discussion, the student provides certain ideas spontaneously on your questions. Now, how far he has applied his brain to that idea, how much thought process he has done before giving that idea. So of course, there is no time for a student to process his idea entirely, to think about it and give the proper answer. Spontaneous ideas are generated through discussions. When do we discuss with these spontaneous ideas? When we want to brainstorm and we want innovative solutions for a particular thing or particular problem. But when we want in-depth solution to a specific problem, there comes the case study. So what I do in my classes, how do I make those classes interactive? How I ensure that my students are Symbiosis, they are getting proper learning, they are internalizing what we are teaching them. So initially, when the new concept is there, I use lecture mode. Let's say, for example, recently I was teaching them application of artificial intelligence in supply chain management. So what is artificial intelligence, and how this artificial intelligence can reduce the lead time, that means the time to deliver the product, and how this artificial intelligence can save the cost. I was giving them conceptual knowledge, let's say for 30 minutes. So it was a lecture method. I was showing my PPT, at the same time I was delivering the concept. But after half an hour, I just gave them one of the case from Flipkart, that how this Flipkart is using artificial intelligence in supply chain management or supplying their products to the customer. I gave them around 30 minutes. Okay, you can have your look for 30 minutes around on this case, and then we will discuss. My lecture was 1 hour. So half an hour was conceptual learning, and half an hour I gave them for reading the case. Next lecture, there was entire discussion on how Flipkart is applying artificial intelligence in their business. What happened? Next lecture, the class was enthusiastic. They were saying, yes, we are understanding the case. At the same time, we are able to correlate that if Flipkart can do this, Amazon can do this, other companies which are selling the products online, they can do it. They were able to give what are the positives and what are the negatives of using AI in online e-commerce. So the case study, how I used, I have given one example. What was the impact? The impact was like that the students will be able to give any kind of answer on that particular case, even if they're sitting in front of employer, even if they're sitting in front of future employer. If the question is arising regarding artificial intelligence use in supply chain management, they will be giving the practical answers to the employer. See, why I am talking about the employer and employee most of the time. It's not like that I'm just focusing on one point. It is a parameter which I'm taking to ensure that the quality education which we are imparting, it is there among the students. So if these students are able to become employable because of the knowledge which we are giving, employable in the sense whether they become employee or whether they become businessman, doesn't really matter. Whatever they become, but there should be employability skill among them and case study with real problems, with real cases. It imbibe the learning in them. They understand how this learning can be applied in practice. So this is a big plus when we are talking about the case study. Okay. Now benefits I have already informed. Just have a look at it. Active learning. How many of you are facing this problem that students don't pay attention in the classroom? Physically they are there. Yes, they are physically there, but mentally they're somewhere else. And do you think this is a problem? Just give me 30 seconds. Can you please respond? Dr. Ankita Rastogi saying, in my case, low attendance itself, they're not even physically there. Yes. Bayal saying, yes, it happens. Neeru saying, yes, it happens. Okay. Yes, particularly with current generation, Dr. K.M. Patnaik. Okay. Dr. Tanzintas, yes, they have many distractions. Yes, it happens. The student definitely have distractions, issues, and can't concentrate for long. Okay. Great. Said by Nawal Khan. Okay, last 5 seconds. Yes, it happens. S.S. Sheikh, Dr. M.S. Sheikh, Nirukumari, communication gap between concept and information delivered. Okay, great. Okay, so fine, time is up. Yes, after 30 minutes, Elizabeth said. Now, guys, now believe me, if you're talking distractions, the biggest distraction nowadays is social media. Most of the higher education institutions, they are allowing students above age of 18 to carry mobiles with them. That is one distraction. Another distraction is, as someone said specifically, this generation or current generation, their attention span is lesser than the previous generation. Now, if this is a problem of entire generation, as a faculty, we have to deal with it. How can we deal? If lecture method is not encouraging them to get themselves involved physically and mentally, then we can use case study method. And it also solves one of the biggest problem. And that biggest problem is cheating. I'm sure I won't like to take any survey on it. I am 100% sure that most of us, they believe that whatever assignment they give to the student, this student complete those assignment using some AI tools, ChatGPT, Google Gemini, and so on and so forth. And they're so smart, they changes some words here and there so that it doesn't come under the plagiarism. So paraphrasing is done after taking answers from AI. So ultimately, what is happening? Your assignment, which is there for students, so that they can understand the concept, so that they can develop the concept and apply practical solution, are being routed through AI tools, and the actual learning is not being imparted. Now think about it. If you give the case to a student and ask them that we will be discussing the case, or if you hold the presentation of that case in the next class, what will happen? Think about it. When they are presenting or when they are discussing the case with you, even though they have got the solution from some AI tools, they must have learned it practically. Not practically, they must have learned it thoroughly, because they have to discuss it. They have to present it. It's not like that they are writing on a paper and then paper has been evaluated. It is something like that. You will be evaluating them physically. You will be evaluating how they are representing ideas, how they are representing solutions. So imagine the activeness of the learning which is happening in the class. Imagine it goes beyond any other method. Only other method which I understood, which is better than case study method, that is experiential, that is practical learning, project based learning, wherein the student is actually doing the project inside the industry or inside the company or inside any organization, wherein the learning is better than the case study learning. But other than that, if you want your class to be agile, active, case study is a method. It creates an environment where students collaborate in a group, students discuss among themselves, and then the student discuss the solutions with the professor, and professor with trigger question can direct them towards various aspect of the case. If the class is missing some aspect, professor can direct them. Again, other things, critical thinking, problem solving, we have already discussed. Last, collaboration. Do you feel that when you give assignment, all students used to do the assignment individually? The answer is big no. My experience on initial days is like that. If I'm giving them assignment, let's say for example, last time I was teaching them multimodal transportation. So I just told them, note down all the important documents required for air transportation and how those documentations can be prepared at ease. Next day, people submitted their assignments back to me. And it was something like that. Two or three students have written the actual assignment and others have copied from them. The same mistake which was in assignment 1, it was repeated in assignment 3, 4, 5, 10, 12, 13. So it happens. People, when we give traditional assignment, they collaborate in a cheating manner. When we give cases, they have to talk in between. They have to discuss in between about the solution. Of course, I'll give a caveat here. In case if you're using case as a teaching tool or teaching pedagogy, a teacher has to be very strong in that area of case. Number one, a teacher has to be very persistent that yes, come what may, but until I get the best answer or until I get answers in all the aspects, all the areas, I will not quit the case. I will direct the student, I'll listen to them, I'll understand, I'll give my opinion on that, on their solutions, I'll direct them. So it has to be done. But what it does, number one, active learning, and number four, collaboration. Don't you think that this is the objective of us as a teacher to make a student collaborate and to engage themselves in the active learning? And this is what the case study used to do. And these are the benefits. Now, moving ahead. When you are implementing cases, so I'm not just going to give you the rosy pictures of case study, that it is a case study and if you use, there will be some magic wand and by using that magic wand, entire problem will be vanished. No, it won't happen. Believe me, it won't happen. So what will happen then? There will be certain challenges. If you are using case study, first of all, what I do, when I prepare my teaching plan, you can call it anything. Some people call it CCP, some people call it subject or course academic planner, whatever. So it is a teaching plan which we prepare for our subjects. Let's say, for example, I'm teaching principles of management. So I know that I have to complete this subject in, let's say, 40 lectures. So in 40 lectures, there are 6 units. I divide time equally, or according to my understanding, I divide time to each lecture with each topic. Now, when I am planning the case, I need to know that cases will require a lot of time. So I need to put only those cases which I want there, number one. I need to know how much time will be required to deal with the case. So let's say if you think that teaching one concept of organizing, planning, staffing takes around 1 lecture, and if you want to discuss the case, you have to put 1 more hour for that case. Most of the good practices which has been followed across the globe is like that. Suppose if you want to take the case on 10th of August, faculty normally gives the case 4 to 5 days in advance. Let's say on 5th of August or 4th of August, faculty used to give the cases or case to the students and then saying on 10th we will be discussing this case. This is one method. Another method, you can divide the students among the group. Let's say group of 5 to 6 people. Don't make the group of more than 6 people or 7 people, because otherwise the entire purpose is defeated. So many cooks, they spoil the cake. Likewise, so 5 to 6 people is the ideal combination. When you give them the topic is okay, this is the case you need to present. So there are let's say 60 students, 10 groups are there. Now if you are creating 10 groups and you're giving them 10 minutes each and for discussion 5 minutes each, you need to understand that you will be spending 150 minutes on this and transition time of 10 minutes. So 160 minutes you must keep it in your teaching planner. This is a scientific approach. Where the teacher fails, where I failed so many times initially when I was teaching the cases, there are some landmark case in every subject. So when I was teaching one case, which was dealing with the transportation problem in India, this case took around 6 to 7 hours to deal with. The students were very enthusiastic. The presentation time of 10 minutes was not sufficient. One group took around 45 minutes to present their case. And though the case was dealt properly, but the problem was that I had to cover the entire syllabus and I was unable to cover that. So, what I need to do? I understood this thing very clearly. If I'm putting the case with my experience, I need to know that how much time I'll be giving for the case. I need to assign additional time for the case considering number one, the strengths of the student. Let's say if there are 10 students, if there are 20 students, if there are 30 students, if there are 60 students. Number two, do we want all the students to present the case or do we want discussion on the case? So all these things has to be decided early so that you can put proper time commitment. Once you decide all these things, your preparation is complete. With every case, you must have your teaching note. With a case, you give some question to a student to solve. So, in another angle, case study is something like telling the story, storytelling. If you look at the researches of late which has been done, you will understand that most of the organization, most of the CEOs, they say that storytelling is an art of managing the things. If you want to deliver a message to your team, if you want your team to understood what you are saying, storytelling is a way with which people are managing this. Storytelling is very effective art of teaching. Okay, so case study is just like a story. Now, with this story, when you put the question, the student will have to remind all the case, all the data associated with the case, and then their analytical power comes in, then their critical thinking comes in, and then the solution or problem solving skill comes in. Preparation of all these things has to be done by teacher before he provides the case to student to solve. And again, believe me, one of the difficult part is assessing the case studies. When some group is presenting the case study and you are assessing, when you are actively involved in directing them towards solution, it is difficult part. So whenever there will be chance, I'll be teaching you this thing, how to assess. But in short, a teacher has to be very attentive, very attentive. His parameters should be very clear and he must inform the class what are the parameter, how much marks on presentation skill, how much marks on the points they are putting, how much marks on various areas they have covered or not. So it must be very clear. Check. Moving ahead. Okay. So I feel we have discussed on it, but I feel effective teaching learning process will be completed if we use all these things in our teaching: case studies, lecture method, discussion, and technology. Technology, when I'm talking about technology, I'm talking about tools like projector, I'm talking about tools like PowerPoint presentation. I'm also talking about online tools which are available wherein tons of resources are given. In 2002, when I started my teaching, my journey as a teacher, I used to prepare my notes by looking at the books, opening the book, finding the concepts, finding the examples, and then noting them, practically typing it, and then giving it to students. Those were the days. But now, with technology, NPTEL, Coursera, and so many platforms are there where you will find online lectures are there on the given topic. You will find so many sources where the notes or subject material is available. What you need to do? You need to introduce those things to students. Yes, this is where whatever they are learning, they can relearn or they can revise with the help of technology. Use technology. Concept, when you're clearing the concept, use lecture method. Have some discussion during the lecture method. and then give the case. One of the questions which one of the participants asked me last time, sir, should we cover all the syllabus using case study? The answer is, it is subjective. Is your university is allowing entire case study? If the answer is no, don't use all the entire syllabus using case studies. Don't teach entire syllabus using case studies. No, it won't be possible. Think about the time available with you, syllabus you need to cover. Think about the level of students, whether you're teaching to 11th and 12th, whether you're teaching to graduation level students, whether you're teaching to postgraduate level students. Think about it. And then those important areas of your syllabus wherein you feel that case study can create practical learning, put those cases only. So in one of the subject basics of logistics management, in my case, there are 7 units and I used to put 7 cases. For 1 unit, 1 case. I take one particular problem from that unit and a case is given at least 7 days in advance. And after that, I used to teach them with lecture and discussion using technology. And then, let's say in 2 sessions, we discuss the case. Normally, my idea is in 7 cases, I like 5 to be discussed and 2 to be presented. But first 5 to be discussed and last 2 to be presented. What happened now? When you discuss the case in the classroom, and if the class is consisting of 60 people or 60 students, you come to know that who are contributing and who are not contributing. So as per NAC, when you identify the slow learners and bright students, so you can identify the active participants and non-active participants. And as a teacher, if you believe that non-active participants should be active, you can create a separate group for them. You can give separate assignment for them. This will do wonders. Okay. Now another part. One of the participants says ki writing the case for the college, writing the case for the student, and writing the case for the journal. Is it same or is it different? See, guys, in last 15 years, when I started writing my case, 2008 was the first time when I started writing the case, and till time I have written almost 20 plus cases. And believe me, I got one funding from Government of India in 2011, that is AICT under Research Promotion Scheme. So I developed the case on logistics management and steel industries of India. It took around 7 months to me to develop that case. Now that case was taught in the classroom by me. That case was submitted to the journal. So parameter for submitting to journal and teaching in the class, they are not different. They are one and the same. You know, academic journals, they are publishing cases because they want others to use it. See, as a researcher, as an academician, if I am writing a case, what will be my next expectation? Okay, I'll give you this question. Give me the answer in 30 seconds. If you write a case, a wonderful case of your area, and you published it, what is your next expectation with the case? Floor is open. So I'll get the new ideas also. Write 1 or 2 words. Don't make sentences. It will take time. Yes, it happens. Develop the themes. Okay, sub themes. Okay. Dr. Ankita Rastogi. Okay. Teaching notes. Okay. Start thinking. Okay. Last 10 seconds. 1 plus, okay, CH, okay. People explore new areas. Academicians use it for class teaching. Sarika.more, okay. Citations, yes, biggest thing API. How many of you are sufferer of API? Sir, API nahi बढ़ रहा है, sir, क्या करें? Okay, citations, they are the need of an hour. Nowadays people ask about what is your I index, what is your H index. 2010 nobody used to ask, but 2024, yes, everybody is asking. Continue case B, Dr. Mumtaz said references will create deeper understanding. The Basum said, okay, time is up. I hate citing. Okay, Afrin said, whether we hate or not, but we have to cite others, and we have to be cited. Once you write the case, the biggest expectation is that others should use the case and give the review on it. A case is, let's say, not complete unless you provide the teaching notes along with it. So, when you're submitting to the journal a case study, along with the case study, you should give teaching notes. What is teaching notes? Let's say case study is a story, is an analysis of a specific problem. So teaching notes informs other academician that how should they use the case, where should they use the case. My case based on supply chain management or logistics management of steel industries in India may not be applicable in arts, may not be applicable in science, may not be applicable in MBBS. So I must inform in teaching notes where it will be applicable, for which course it will be applicable. One of the biggest developer of caselets in India, that is ICFI, they have provided a lot of caselet books. Go online and you'll find a lot of caselets. Caselets means small cases. Let's say 4 or 5 pages case, 10 pages case, or 3 pages case. So what are they? They are case studies, okay, caselets. When you submit those cases, you need to submit the teaching notes. And when some teacher is using, he understands with your teaching note that this case can be taught under certain circumstances, and it can impart a practical learning in following areas. And it also informs the other academicians how to use the case. So it is about you're telling others that how to use your story for their classes. Okay. So in academic research, if you want depth of insights, you need to use cases, you need to write cases. Theory building, one of the form or one of the important thing with cases is that most of the theories which has been built in 1969, Philip Kotler gave the principle of 4 P's of marketing. So he built that theory which is used across the globe by using various cases. With cases, you learn something new and then you apply those, you create a new theory, and that is called theory building. And again, it has a practical application. Okay, moving ahead. What are the types of cases? Let us see the types of cases. Now, first one is exploratory case studies. Now, exploratory case studies explores the phenomenon. It is open-end case study. For example, there is new technology right now, machine learning. How this machine learning will impact automotive sector. How this machine learning will impact healthcare sector. If you are exploring this phenomena, it is called exploratory case study. Under this case study, the target is to develop a hypothesis. That means developing an assumption. Hypothesis is equal to scientific assumption. So you develop an assumption. Let's say, for example, assumption can be depending factor, depending variable, and independent variable. If we will take simultaneously, one of the hypotheses can be because of ML, or with the use of ML, the healthcare sector can deliver their services 2 times better than the without ML application. So these exploratory cases, they are open-ended cases. If you give these cases to students, they'll be giving you a number of solutions. Tons of solutions will be given by them, tons of ideas will be given by them, because it is open-ended. How can we, let's say, for example, I'll put up one problem which is very common. How can we reduce corruption in India? So if you give this case to students, they will be able to give you tons of answers, and you may be getting 30-40 answers group, wherein you will be able to demonstrate कि हाँ, these are the solutions or this can be the probable solutions. So these are exploratory cases. Most of the category B journals in ABDC, they used to publish exploratory case studies. Then comes explanatory case studies. Now, explanatory case studies are very simple. They deals with cause and effect. If this thing happens, let's say, for example, if government announces reduction in the taxes in one particular area, what will be the impact on particular sector? Recently, there was union budget on 23rd. Government reduces taxes, import taxes on gold. So what is happening with the gold prices in India? You know, gold prices have come down. If you want to purchase a gold, this is the best time, because the prices have come down, and we Indians, I was just going through the statistics. We Indians holds 11% of the total gold of world. That was there in the statistics. So explanatory case studies are those which assesses the impact of particular situation on a particular sector. Let's say, for example, if there will be flood, what will be the impact on human life in those areas where the flood is there? So who uses this kind of cases? This kind of cases are mostly used by government bodies to understand cause and effect. What causes the criminalization? In India, one of the case wherein I am working right now, you must be knowing that financial frauds are increasing in India. A lot of financial frauds are being there. So I'm looking into causes. What is causing this financial crimes in India? So cause and effect has been built with explanatory theory. Descriptive case studies. Now, descriptive case studies, as you know, or as you can imagine, it describes the phenomenon. It doesn't provide any particular direction. It just opens a particular hidden problem in open space. Why don't Indian pay taxes? Which is actually why don't Indians pay actual taxes? Why do Indians evade the taxes? So this case study will describe the phenomenon. It will open up all possibilities without giving any particular direction. This is descriptive case study. It requires rich data. You know, if you want to look at this particular case, wherein why Indians evade the taxes. If you will be saying, ki, sir, how can you say that ki Indians are evading the taxes? It has been said by Finance Ministry itself. Look at their reports. They says that there are people who are paying taxes, let's say 2-3%, and there are people who are going abroad. They're more than that. How is it possible that people are going, more people are going abroad, but they do not have enough money to do the taxes? It's not possible. There are other data with which government is saying, ki yes, Indians are evasive. So when we describe this phenomena, it is called descriptive case studies. Now, descriptive case studies are often published in category C type of journals in India and in abroad. Okay. Now, intrinsic case studies. You know, intrinsic case studies focuses on a single unique case to gain a deep understanding of its intricacies. In behavioral science, if we look at one single phenomena, let's say why the students of graduate first semester level are not having proper concentration. This is a small phenomenon, a small problem. When you look at this problem in economics, we call it a micro level problem. When you elaborate this problem, when you explain this problem in depth, when you lead this problem, or when you take this problem to the greater heights by going in depth, exploring all the reasons for their attention span, it becomes intrinsic case study. It is unique. It is unique because it is exploring a very minute or micro phenomenon. And in that micro phenomena, it is providing all the areas of affection. That is why it is intrinsic. Then instrumental case studies. Instrumental case studies are used, case studies is use a specific case to gain a deeper understanding of a broader issue or phenomenon. Okay. So now, previously what we did, we tried to understand one specific micro level case and we understood entire reasons behind it. Here in instrumental cases, we look for those phenomena or those activity, those actions or those happenings which has created something big. We want to go deeper into it. We want to know that how this specific phenomena has created or specific event has created a bigger impact. What caused COVID? How we can avoid COVID-like diseases, COVID-like pandemics in future can be the part of instrumental case studies. Okay, then some more case studies are there, but before that, I'll give you in final 5 minutes how to choose the right cases. I will be taking in depth of this in the post-lunch session, but giving you this idea before we conclude this session is something like this. How do you choose the right case study? First your goal must be very clear. Very, very clear. Why are you writing the case study? Most of the academicians, my friends who are in academics, they used to say, Shailesh, it's very simple here. We want some points and we want to publish the case. That's why we are writing. But no, I think that should not be the goal. That is the outcome. Now, if you write the proper case, it will be published and you will be getting the points. Your goals. If you want to suggest government to improve their policy, the goals are different, the case studies are different. Then if you think you want industry to understand a particular phenomena, let's say consumer behavior, consumer buying behavior, your goal is different. Your case study will be entirely different. Your data collected for case study will be entirely different. Or if you think that you want to develop a case so that students can understand one particular concept very properly, the goal is different. Again, once your goal is decided, you need to decide on how much depth you would like to go. If you want to dig deep, I'll suggest take a micro case, very, very micro case. Let's say, for example, I'm residing in Pune right now. In Pune, I'm residing in Kule. So there is waterlogging problem. So if I'm taking the case wherein I want to go in depth, so I'll take the case why in Kule there is waterlogging. So I'll be dealing with this phenomena only. Then I will have to think about another aspect. Do I want to generate a new theory or develop new theory? Do I want to contribute something extra, something new of the existing theory? So then theoretical contribution will be on much higher side. But if you want to do that, your case has to be broader one. Though it should be in one area. Let's say you can take inflation. Let's say you can take unemployment, but it should be in one area. It cannot be, it should be a broader area wherein there is possibility of generalization, and data when you are collecting for this kind of cases should be used. If your entire universe is, let's say, 2 lakh people, so data should be of 30,000 people. At least 15% of the universe this should be sample. Sample should be 15% of the universe if you want to generalize some kind of theory. And feasibility. We all have a feasibility problem. Feasibility, when you talk about feasibility, few things comes. I have understood, I have faced all these things, so I can tell you. First point comes, that is money. If you want to collect data by physically visiting the industries situated in various arena or various geographical location, one is situated in Maharashtra, another in Andhra, and then one in Gujarat. So it is challenging. Then the second thing, do you have that much time? We are working with organizations, private or public. So we are already engaged, or we are already involved in a lot of activities. A lot of time is been devoted for regular activities like teaching, learning, assessment, counseling, and so on and so forth. So do we have time for that? Bigger the data, bigger the time required. There are solutions. If you think that physical visit is not required, you can collect the data using Google Forms. You can collect the data using technology and with the help of modern platforms. One of the research which I'm doing right now, it is on how does Indian CEOs think about AI in supply chain management. And believe me, guys, I do not have contact for more than 3 or 4 CEOs with me right now. So what I'm doing, I am accessing the LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, I'm finding a lot of profiles of CEOs. I'm sending them the friend request or connection request. Those who are accepting, I'm just sharing my research with them, research objective with them, saying that I'm doing this kind of a research. And if you can spare your 10 minutes for this research, the questionnaire is attached here with, and it is simply yes, no, maybe sort of questions. So if you can spare, that will be good. If I will take appointment of each CEO, it may take around 3 to 4 years to complete this study. And by that time, the relevance of the study would be gone. So what I'm doing by using technology, LinkedIn is the best platform. If you want professionals to be there in your data collection, LinkedIn is the best platform. So with the help of this, I'm going to collect the data. Great. So guys, we will take this topic letterwards in the post-lunch session. I would like to stop myself here. It is exactly 11:48. So I'll just sum up what we have learned during this case, but during this session. We came to understand that case study method is effective when we want to impart practical learning to students. Case study methods provides some additional inputs wherein analytical skill of the students, critical analytical skill of the students, and active learning of the students can be ensured. We have also understood various types of cases. We have also understood how these cases can be learned inside the classroom. So guys, with this, I would like to close the session. If you have 1 or 2 query, you can write. I have got 1 or 2 minutes, so I'll deal with it. Let me just check the. Okay, Dr. Malini Majumdar says, is a case related to a company is intrinsic always? Not always, ma'am, but most of the time it is intrinsic. Sir, can you summarize type of case studies? One more, please. Sir, Dr. Ankita, I'll definitely do it. In post-lunch session, I'll start with this thing. I'll be in fact giving you more examples of each types of cases in post-lunch session. Sure. Welcome, ma'am. So I guess my time is up. Can you please suggest? Okay, Elizabeth says, can you please suggest tips to explain exhibit? We do not explain the exhibit to students. We just inform them these are the exhibit. Let's say, for example, when I was doing my research of logistics management in the steel industry, one of the steel industry is JSW. So what I did, I wrote the case of 10-12 pages, and then I attached the financial report of last 10 years of JSW. JSW refers to Jindal Steel Works. Jindal Steel Works. So last 10 years financial reports consist of trading account, P&L account, P&L appropriation account and balance sheet. Then I also attached the competitive analysis given by the then moneycontrol.com. I also attached their annual reports of last 3 years. So that document was around 85 pages. So exhibits are supporting documents. Let's say, for example, in my case, I told them that the inventory turnover ratio of JSW is 6.3. So supporting to that statement, I have given balance sheets, I have given annual reports wherein their opening inventory, closing inventory is given, their sale is given, so that the student can calculate from that. And if I'm asking certain questions in the case study, so let's say at the end I ask them, how does JWS, Jindal Steel, JSW can improve their inventory management? So I need to give them sufficient data in exhibit so that they can calculate, they can understand how this inventory management can be improved, how inventory turnover can be improved. We need to provide them the data of actual inventory. We need to provide them the data of actual sales per month. And for this purpose, we need to provide them reports, financial data of the company of last 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So these are the exhibits. Guys, thank you very much for attending the session, my session. And I'm sure with this session, the actual learning which we are thinking, we were able to get some knowledge about what case study is. Thank you, Ankita ma'am. Thank you for your encouraging word. So I would like to invite Professor Padma Priya ma'am for this session. Sarika ma'am, thank you. It was really informative because I wanted all the participants to have the information. Tabassu ma'am, thank you very much for your appreciation. And over to Padma Priya ma'am. And I'm sure you all will be amazed with the knowledge Padma Priya ma'am will be sharing. I used to find myself amazed every time I interact with her. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Dr. Shailesh. So I'm sure that the thought process have already started. What exactly case studies are, how they are effective. Probably some of you may be aware about it. Some of you may be very new to this case study method. So this process of understanding the case study as one of the effective method of teaching learning, I guess that has started. Okay. So let me share my.
होगा मेरा सेशन कंप्लीट हो गया सर इसके फीडबैक देखो ना सर
Shailesh sir, can you mute yourself?
मैं इसको सिर्फ स्क्रीनशॉट ले लेता
Shailesh sir?
Oh, sorry, ma'am.
So I'm back with the same slide that I left with. And I'm sure this is not the position of the Ghada today, Ghada now. Okay. So I guess that all of you are open still, okay, and ready to learn the new things. Because the session that I'm going to cover now, which is about essentials of case studies, essential elements of case study is a very interesting and very what we can say interactive session that we are going to have. So I request all of you to have pen and paper with you so that in between, whenever I'm going to ask you to write something or what we can say analyze something, that will be handy to you. Okay. So you all are now still like in a phase where the things can be learned, or you want a break of 1 minute wherein you can just have your mind fresh. We can continue, because ultimately I know that there are limitations of the human what we can say attention. The span of attention is hardly 30-35 minutes, not more than that. So we have already heard a lot of intensive things in previous speakers class, and that was really very much knowledgeable and something which was which might have added and that thought process must have started. So before I start, I want everybody to be in that receptive mode. So shall we take a break of 1 minute, or we can continue? Sunita ma'am, I'll request you to unmute everyone, because now I'm going to have a lot of interactions. But just ensure that there are nothing, like no external or some additional voices are there in the background. So ensure that though you are unmuted, you are maintaining the decorum of the entire seminar. Okay? Fine.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
let's start. We can start.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
could
ma'am.
get
Now
some.
participants can unmute themselves and they can interact with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
You can
ma'am.
start.
Ankita wants 1 minute break. So Ankita, you can just have a very deep breath, take 1 minute break and come back immediately. Okay.
Okay.
So we are going to have the very interactive session in understanding the essential elements of case study. And I assure you that at the end of this session, you will be able to narrate, you will be able to list these case study elements without referring anything. That is my responsibility, and I assure you that. Because the way that we are going to is the method, or rather the technique that I'm going to help you to understand these essential elements which make any case study complete. That is so interactive, that is so innovative, that you will not have to remember them or memorize them. Okay, you will remember it automatically. Okay, so we will start with the discussion. But before that, I will start with the previous part, and instead of uh, directly coming to the essential elements of case study, let me also what we can say connect the dots, because ultimately we have discussed what is case study, what are the different types of case studies in the previous session. Now, to connect this discussion with the elements of essential elements of case study, let me revise and rather just summarize what Shailesh Kedia sir have said, that what case study is. It is obviously the in-depth analysis of specific instances, events, situations, individuals in real life context. Okay, so basically it is commonly used as education tool, right? It is used for research method, and it is used as a problem solving technique. You all agree? So the generally any case study is used as an education tool, maybe by academicians and students in the teaching learning process. It is used as a research tool by the researchers while doing any research in any area. And in the corporates, it is mainly used for problem solving. Okay, Shailesh Kedia sir have already explained you that in different situations when the case studies are used, the objective automatically get changed. So these are the three purposes generally the case studies are used. So case studies are used as a teaching learning tool to provide the students with practical examples of theoretical concepts, enabling them to apply their knowledge in real world situation. This is very important, because so far whatever concept we teach them, the generic concept that we teach them, they need to understand how to apply them in a real world situation. And if they can get that connect, okay, they will remember it forever. And that is the ultimate purpose of using this case study method in teaching learning process as an education tool. Then it is also a research method, because we in previous session, Dr. Kedia have already explained that in different research projects, how he have used the case study as one of the tool for collecting the data. So researchers can use the case study to conduct the detailed investigations of a single entity or a small group, allowing a deep understanding. Okay, he has said that it is not for discussing many alternative problems at a time. It is basically to take one problem under consideration and go deeper and deeper and investigate all the parameters of that problem in a detailed way, in a thorough way. So that is a research approach. So case study helps you to do that. Okay. And in corporates, as I said, it is used for problem solving, because we all know that in practical corporate setup, there are a lot of problems that they have to face and they have to find out solution for. And case studies could be one of the very effective and very practical way of analyzing the cases, analyzing the situations, and then getting the solution, also taking the decisions. So it helps the students. So in class also, when we are teaching the case study and using the case study method, it is going to help the learners, students, to develop that problem solving skills, to develop that decision making skills as they navigate the complexities and challenges which are presented in that particular situation of the case. Okay, so this was the summary of what we have learned in the previous part. So generally, this is very much suitable for teaching the complex terms. Okay, it is used for even teaching the normal terms, like even to teach the basic concepts, the case study could be used. But again, when we are putting so much efforts into the case study, it is generally used by the educators to teach some complex terms, complex concepts. Okay, because it helps you to get that real world understanding. Okay, the case study helps you to apply that concept in the real world example. So that is the reason when we are learning something complex, when we are learning something complicated, by applying that concept in the real world example, you can immediately grasp its all the, what we can say, parameters. You can understand that particular concept from all angles. So because here you are not able to just, you're not understanding that case in isolation. You're trying to get some connection, you're trying to get some, what we can say, application part, and then in that way, you will be able to remember that particular concept in a better way. It also helps you to build that interest and engagement, because we are going to go with that particular thread which has been created by Dr. Kedia, that is storytelling. Okay, case is a storytelling. We are going to come to that point later. So basically, whatever background and whatever narrative that is being explained in any case, that helps the students to build that interest and engagement. And it also helps the faculty members, the educators, to engage the students in that particular discussion, whatever the concept is going on. And then it helps, it rather foster the critical thinking and analysis, because you understand that particular problem and try to critically think on that, try to critically analyze that, to identify the different reasons and the perspectives of that particular problem under investigation. It gives scope for the discussion and debate, both. Okay, because whenever any case is taken into consideration for using it as a teaching learning tool, in that case, it gives scope for discussion, because there are a lot of parameters, there are a lot of multiple, what we can say, perspectives which could be discussed simultaneously. And if anybody is disagreeing with something, that debate also can also enrich the entire discussion. So that gives the scope for discussion and debate at the same time. It imparts the decision-making skill, obviously, because when the problem is there and you are about to find out the solution and multiple solutions to that problem and decide the one which is the best one, that helps you to develop that decision-making skill within the students. And instead of, like directly going into the real life situation within the class, by understanding the entire holistic understanding of that case, they will be able to take the practical decisions to solve that problem. So that gives them the decision-making skills before they actually put to the real world competitive situations of the corporate. It allows reflective learning. It support the customizable learning. Yeah, this is also there, because there are different types of cases. And these cases could be used differently for different objectives, for different goals. So as per the requirement of that particular concept to be taught, as per the requirement, that particular what we can say group of audience to whom that case is being used, accordingly that could be changed. Okay, it is not necessary that every time the cases have to be big and they should be lengthier. Even a small caselet could be sometimes used to teach some smaller concepts. So they are customized. They are very much effortfully used for the customizable learning. So these are the reasons why the case study method is very much suitable for teaching the complex concepts. Now with this, what we can say, initial discussion on the importance of case studies and how case studies are becoming one of the very effective method of educating and teaching the students. Let us proceed to our actual discussion of this topic that I am teaching, that is essential elements of the case study. So let me ask you one question. Okay, now I want everybody to get I hope that everybody got muted. Can they talk, Dr. Sunita?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So those who want to answer, they can unmute themselves and they can give the answer. Okay. So since our childhood, okay, during our formative years, what made us to learn life lessons, values, skills, or even the knowledge that we get? What were those elements which have added the learning in your life, which have given or rather have become the source of your learning?
Experiences, ma'am.
Yes, Ankita?
Experiences,
Usha?
ma'am.
Experiences, very good. Usha, ma'am? There are few who are writing in the chat box. Situation,
Most of the
very
time,
good.
most of the time it was
Experiences,
surrounding, ma'am.
experiment, situation. Yeah. Can you repeat your answer? Somebody said something.
Yeah, I said most of the time it was surrounding.
It's a surrounding, okay? The people around you, the situations around you, the things that happen around you. Very good.
Ma'am,
Sometimes
I want to
our
ask. Hello.
mistakes teach us some values, some
Somebody
lessons.
said mistakes. Kudos to
Yes,
that answer, okay? Because
yes.
somebody who is accepting that we have learned from the mistake is really takes courage. So very good, Shweta, that mistakes have also taught us not many times.
Padma Priya,
And we
ma'am.
have at least,
Hello.
yeah,
Hello.
I'm Dr. Chandan.
okay.
Whatever we read from the different authors at the childhood stage, which
Hello.
makes good values and develop good skills in our life.
Yes, whatever reading we have
Yes.
gone through, okay, whatever things which we have come across, so that have become the source of learning. Very good. Another two,
Ma'am, here,
parenting,
Professor
possession, okay.
Neelam. Ma'am, actually,
Yes.
the challenges we face in our life from the childhood to till now, whatever the mistakes and in any organization we face, so somewhere we learn to improve and suggestions also, feedbacks also.
Feedback, suggestions, very good. So we
Internet
have got
use, ma'am.
almost all the answers, I guess.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Present scenario,
One
ma'am.
more answer if you can talk, please. Yeah.
Present scenario around us.
Present scenario around us. So I think,
Internet
yeah.
uses also.
Padma Priya,
Yes.
ma'am. What I think is we learn from every minute, like from each and every minute. Even right now we are learning. So what I believe is lessons, values, and skills. When you're talking about, like, if you're living life, you're learning. If you're dead, you cannot. You live, you learn.
Yes. So you're telling what makes us to learn, right? So good. Now
Life makes
have
us to
got
learn, ma'am.
many answers. We have got many answers, and more or less they are covering almost every source that generally we have learned from since our childhood. Okay, which have given us values, which have imbibed the skills. Okay, the soft skills, hard skills, right? So according to me, let me summarize all these things in a few words, which probably will be covering some of the other point or answer given by you. So stories, okay. Chandan sir have said that through the various stories and through various readings that we have heard or read through, that they have given us the learning incidences which happens around us. Okay, then people around us have taught us many things, and the last is our mistakes that have also taught us. There are many other things, but which are either of the part of any of these things. Okay, so these are basically the source of learning so far in our life. So if you see, okay, whatever you have understood regarding case studies in previous discussion, so case study include all these above components. Okay, all these above components are there in the case study, and that's how we can say that it is very holistic tool that can help the educator to use in the classroom as well as in any discussion with the student, which can help them to apply the knowledge and skills and learn them effectively. Okay, so I basically believe, okay, I basically believe out of these four, sometimes self-reflection, yeah, that is also right, Dr. Patnaik. So I personally feel that all these things, okay, In all these four things, stories I realize are